para wala tayong problema, then sana there could never have been discrimination, bigotry. Yan eh. And it took so many centuries to correct. The only problem is there are some places in this world that continue to harass yung mga lesbian, yung mga gay. Ang yung ibang lugar ngayon, kinukulong pa, pati pinapatay. So sasakay ako ng helicopter, was trying to figure out what I would say here. But there is the injustice which nobody can answer now. Dapat sana kinumpleto ng Panginoong Diyos. Kasi may naalangan na lalaki, may naalangan na babae. Ako, gusto ko rin bisexual eh. Para masarap dito, masarap doon. Hindi nangyari yan eh. But if you will recall, ever since I became mayor, I have been very strict yang discrimination, pati outright bigotry. As a matter of fact, we have the law. But long time ago, I said, there will be no oppression against all sectors of our society. Ayaw ko kasi ang dalawang brother-in-law ko, bakla. Ako noong sa high school pa, hindi ko alam kung maglalaki ako, pag mababae. Parang gusto ko maging lalaki, gusto ko maging babae. Kaya lang sa Philippine Women's, mas maganda talaga ang mga babae. Marami doon eh. Kaya ako na-tempt. Kagaya kay, alam mo, created paradise, man and a woman, kulang ng dalawa. At gumawa pa siya ng ahas. Kaganda ng paradise, mag-introduce ka pa ng ahas. Tapos sinawag niya yung ahas, nag-order siya ng apple galing China, sinasaksak sa bunganga ng ahas, tapos inutosan yung ahas, go and tempt Eve to tempt Adam to know and feel malice. So from there we start. Are we normal? Yes. Are you normal? Yes. Agtumboy ba abnormal? No, of course not. Why? Because we are all creations of God. Ang nagkamali, ang Diyos. And that is why in different places, Australia for example, they have made an open confession. You go into the cable news about the abuses committed by priests. Kami man noon, during the campaign, sinabi ko sa inyo, biktima rin kami. All. Basta nandyan yung pare noon. I don't know to what extent or length they have corrected the problem. But Parliament, ang gobyerno ng Australia is suggesting to the Catholic Church, allow the priests to marry. Ako gusto ko same-sex marriage. Ang problema, we'll have to change the law. But we can change the law. Ang batas kasi, marriage is a union between a man and a woman. I don't have any problems making it marrying a man, marrying a woman, or whatever is the predilection of the human being. Kaya every Christmas noon, I have always invited you to share with me time, break bread with you, tsaka sinasabi ko sa inyo ano ang stand ko. Lahat naman, I have the time for the urban poor, but I do not have the time now. Nung presidente na ako. I invite the disabled. May isang gabi rin kami. Yaya ko, military, pati mga pastor, priest, another night. Just to be inclusive in my dimension so that maintindihan ninyo ako. I have never oppressed anybody because of his race, religion. Talagang I just govern by the rule of fair play. Equality. Hanggang dyan lang ako. Because that is my only purpose in being a president. Ngayon, we have so many things to still my discrimination, but I think in the upper echelons, A, B, C, medyo okay na. They are already mga congressmen. I don't know about senators, but definitely congressman meron. Sa cabinet ko, wala pang nagpakita ng, but I would be willing to accept all. Wala akong problema dyan. Now, find me the brightest dito sa Pilipinas ngayon. Kayong, bigyan niyo ako ng bright na tao. He might be gay, he might be lesbian. I'd like to nominate or appoint somebody upon the nomination. You nominate the representative from the LGBT sector. Kasi I fired the entire commission of the urban poor, the head, for traveling so much in so short a time, as if he was using the money of the people like his own. So yung komisyon na yan, bubuin ko pa. I'd like a gay there somewhere, or a lesbian. And mag-usap kayong lahat all over the Philippines. You nominate somebody who is honest, hardworking, and I would like to show that any mabakla man o matumboy can always work just like an ordinary human being. Gusto kong ipakita, and kindly do it. I'll give you until the second week of January to nominate. I'm sure you know, kayong mga o ating community na LBG, alam natin kung sino. Just a matter of asking. Just give me an honest. That's the number one. That is a condition sine qua non. Then a bright, honest, bright, gusto ko na representative sa para ma-highlight ang trabaho ng isang bakla o tumboy. I fired the entire commission. So, ganito yan. I'm working hard. I will not be president for too long, in about 4 years. Ito ang maasahan ninyo. And this I commit to you. Yung tumakbo ako, alam ninyo, I just made 4 fundamental promises. And even during the presidential debate, I was the first to really salita, maiksi, because, I am a realist. I do not promise heaven and earth to anybody. Hindi kaya eh. But I promise to stop graft and corruption. I will stop it. I am doing it. Nabi ko, the second is discords of the Filipino. Sinabi ko, I will stop or at least minimize drugs in this country. Ginagawa ko yan. Irrespective of sinong nagkakaroon na nga ng kaso sa human rights. But I said to you when I was mayor, and I reiterated the statement when I became president. I told you not to destroy my country. And do not destroy the young of this nation. Kasi pag ginawa ko yan, papatayin talaga kita. Patay nga. Sinabi na sa inyo eh. Then I'm talking to the Communist Party of the Philippines. Ayaw nila, gusto nila to share the power. Sovereignty is what is really the meat of a republic. It is where I get the power representing the people. But in this country, the requirement of the Constitution is you must be chosen by the people. You cannot partake of that cake called sovereignty unless you are the choice of the people. Hindi namin ma-share yan. And we were having talks sa labas. I was reading the results of the workshops, their communications, and their position. But a simple arithmetic, it sums up like they want a coalition government. Sabi ko, hindi pwede yan. I cannot give to you what I do not own. The Constitution says the sovereign power, he might be a son of a bitch, but the sovereign power is always given to the choice of the people. Wala tayong magawa. Baski na pinakatarantadong election, that's required in the Constitution. So dito naman, tayo sa Mindanao, intindihin din ito ha, very short. There is the MNLF and there is the MILF. These are the two organizations opting to remain cooperative with us para makabuelo ang Mindanao without a bloody revolution. They just want arreglo. Now, pray hard, kaya nandito tayo sa Mindanao. But I am telling you now, pag hindi ito, walang resolution dito, there will be a revolution. And nobody but nobody can stop up, not even I. Ang problema dito, kalaban nila yung mga terorismo now, kasali sila sa gobyerno in enforcing order in some parts of Mindanao. But, pag hindi kayo nagkaintindihan, walang resolution, and they would declare war against the government, everybody will come in. A declaration of war will open the floodgates para pumasok ang terorismo. You know why? In war, your enemy is my friend. So pagkaganon, pasok na lahat. He will get the cooperation of anybody and everybody who is opposed against government, including the ISIS. Kaya medyo tayo dyan, careful. I do not want to talk to the communists anymore. I have been receiving reports. Kayong mga komunista, you're roaming around everywhere. And some of you, I have reports from anywhere. You are into molesting or sexually abusing yung mga tao sa bukid. Hinihipo ninyo yung mga babae at yung iba ninanakaw ninyo ang asawa. Is that the kind of revolution? We have been fighting for 50 years. I'm addressing myself to the NPAs. If you want to fight another 50 years, so be it. Hindi ko talaga matulukuhan na ganun. And there's another disturbing. There are some tribes in Mindanao and maybe in Visayas and so on. This practice of buying children. Huminto kayo dyan or else I will treat you just like a drug lord. I'm not saying anything beyond that statement. But slavery must stop. I cannot imagine of a human being growing up in a family na hindi niya alam na hindi talaga siya talaga roon. Marami sa Davao ang kinikidnap. I will take a strong stand against this. I will not tolerate it. I said, kayong mga kidnapper, pag nahuli ko kayo, I will treat you just like a drug lord. Beyond that, you make your own guess. Hindi ko talaga kaya yung huwag kayong pumasok dyan. Just like drugs. Kaya just imagine, mag-kidnap ka dyan ng isang bata, ipabili mo doon sa ibang lugar. And this woman will grow up believing na talagang slave siya. And when she reaches puberty during the menstrual period, after that, she is ready for sexual abuse by the owner of the house, by the mga lalaki, at yung mga pinsan-pinsan pagtulungan. Ang isang tao na hindi niya alam na kinidnap lang pala siya. At she has to suffer and condemned to slavery for all of her life, enduring pain and suffering. Those are the things that are not acceptable to me. I will not tolerate it. You stop because pag malaman ko, I will pursue you to the ends of the world. And maybe, just maybe, tatapusin ko ang problema para sa lahat. So yan lang ang sinasabi ko. It's not a big deal, but I cannot accept it. So I want to enjoy the evening with you. Gusto ko because historically, nandyan talaga ako buong gabi. Problem is, I have to go to Jensen because I was invited by Pacquiao to share the evening with him because birthday niya. Then I have to go to Manila because I have to fly to the places where dumaan yung typhoon. There's so much destruction there. There are places na cut yung bridge. And I would like to see for myself what government can do better than what these guys are doing now. So let me just say, thank you for this celebration. And you have my guarantee that everybody, at least during my term, will be protected and nurtured as a human being. There will be no oppression, and we will recognize your importance in society. I said I am for sex marriage if that is the trend of the modern times, if that will add to your happiness. I am for it. Who am I? You know, ano yung kaligayahan ng tao? Ibigay mo. Bakit mo pigilan? Why impose a morality that is no longer working and almost passé, bahaw na? So I am with you, and just let me know. You have your mayor's Inday, and we'll try to solve the things that we want to have during my term. But you can rest assured that in simple 2 sentences, my oath of office says that I swore, and I swear now, that my job is to protect the people and to preserve the nation called the Republic of the Philippines. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we request the President for a photo opportunity together with Mayor Sara Duterte and the LGBT officers and the members in 5 batches as follows. Our first batch, LGBT Davao leaders headed by Norman Brillantes Baloro. Second batch, our top 16 finalists for the Best Celebrity Icon Lesbian category. Please stand by.
Ikaw ang mag-aahon sa piling mo, di ko mawawala ang korupsyon.
And Philippines. In the news, the storm Orduha has weakened, but it caused massive flooding in the Visayas. And just a week before Christmas, Pag-asa is closely monitoring another possible storm poised to bring rains next week. Because of heavy rains, more than 87,000 people are seeking shelter in evacuation centers nationwide, and in some areas, officials are having trouble sending aid. One of Asia's biggest stars is in Manila. From a rocker to a songstress, Asia's Got Talent judge Anggun tells how she's evolved as an artist. Good evening, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Thanks for joining us. Many areas in eastern Visayas are reeling from the onslaught of Orduha. Although the tropical depression has weakened, disaster officials admit bringing aid to hard-hit areas is proving to be difficult. Our Makoy Popioco is at the State Disaster Agency headquarters. Makoy, what's the latest?
My weather forecasters say Tropical Storm Orduha has made its third landfall today in Romblon. Orduha has weakened as it heads to the provinces of Aklan and Palawan. Orduha is expected to exit the Philippine area of responsibility on Wednesday. Thousands of people have been affected by the heavy rains brought by the storm. Pag-asa says the provinces of Eastern Samar, Northern Samar, Samar, and Biliran have experienced over a month's worth of rainfall in a matter of 2 days. And this heavy downpour caused massive flooding and landslides in several towns. Disaster management officials say 3 people are dead. But there are numerous reports of other fatalities that the authorities are still verifying, including 2 persons allegedly killed in a landslide in Masbate province. 6 people are also missing. The number of injured also went up from only 4 yesterday, now to 19. Many of those injured figured in road crashes due to slippery roads. More than 20,000 families have been evacuated, including those living in storm surge flood-prone coastal communities in the provinces of Eastern Samar and Northern Samar. Farms in Eastern Visayas have also suffered from the wrath of Tropical Storm Orduha. Over 35 million peso worth of corn and banana crops have been damaged. Mai.
Makoy, weather forecasters are also tracking another tropical depression. Can you tell us more about this?
Well, the tropical depression is still outside the Philippine area of responsibility, around 2,000 kilometers east of Mindanao. But this tropical depression is expected to enter the country on Friday, December 22nd. And weather forecasters say there is a possibility that this will develop into a tropical storm. When this happens, this is going to be named Tropical Storm Vinta. And this is going to head to Visayas and Mindanao, the same areas that Orduha has passed over. Mai.
Right, Makoy Papioco, they're reporting to us live from the NDRRMC headquarters in Quezon City. Local authorities in Tacloban appeal for help in fixing Yolanda relocation sites amid heavy rains brought about by Orduha. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Tacloban Vice Mayor Jerry Yaucasin says the designated resettlement sites which were heavily flooded. These are the areas where victims of the 2013 Super Typhoon Yolanda have been relocated. Tacloban was placed under a state of calamity Friday because of Orduha.
Sana may managot ito, no? Kasi lumipat na nga sila from coastal areas, thinking that the places that they would be relocated will be safer. But sad to say, when they transferred there, ngayon, nag-experiensyahan nila ang civil flooding doon. No? So hopefully after all this, NHA should take a look at it again. No? Paano natin ayusin talaga ang mga resettlement sites? Nag-flashback sa amin yung Super Typhoon Yolanda. So as I'm going around right now, no, nakikita natin may mga damages talaga, no? At saka flooded yung mga areas ngayon, no? So definitely may yung Pasko namin parang Yolanda uli kami ngayon.
Ormoc City is now under a state of calamity due to Orduha. This after 90% of agricultural crops have been destroyed. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Ormoc Mayor Richard Gomez says 2 are dead because of the storm. One of the casualties was a woman who was trapped in a landslide and another fell into a manhole. They're also looking for 3 missing persons who had been swept away by water. Orduha flooded 21 barangays in Ormoc, forcing residents to evacuate. The city is appealing for help from the national government.
And we need a lot of water and we need a lot of blankets if that's possible. If there's any civic group who would like to add to the help that is being brought to Ormoc City. For the national government, there's some road sections that are not possible because of road cuts and because of landslide. No? So these are the help that we need from the national government.
Several local flights have also been canceled due to the bad weather. Cebu Pacific and PAL Express. Like we said, the Philippine Coast Guard has lifted its gale warning this afternoon. Orduha leaves Miss Universe contestants stuck on an island in the south, but the beauty queens sure know how to make the most out of it. Miss Malaysia, Samantha James, posted this picture on Instagram with the caption, "So happy to be stranded on Siargao Island." With her is Miss Canada, Lauren Ho, who's wearing a raincoat. In this Instagram post, she says, quote, "Even if things are going wrong, you can't help but find reasons to smile here in the Philippines. I pray everyone stays safe in this weather." They are in Siargao for a vacation with their host, Miss Universe Philippines, Rachel Peters. When the newsroom returns, 7 people are dead while 2 dozen others are injured in a suicide bombing in Pakistan. And PBA Commissioner Chito Narvasa resigns ahead of the season opener. Newsroom Weekend will be back after this quick break. Keep it here on CNN Philippines. Good evening to our viewers. You're joining us on Facebook Live. Maraming salamat po and magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ang top story natin, minomonitor ni Makoy Papioco ang mga figures na dumarating sa NDRRMC headquarters. Nandun po siya ngayon at Kanina lang, nag-report siya sa atin ng live at sinabi niya yung initial assessment ng NDRRMC tungkol sa tumamangang bagyo na si Orduha doon sa Eastern Samar. Maraming areas pa rin are flooded, ano? Tapos hardest hit areas are the Samar provinces, also Leyte. Sabi nga ni Tacloban Vice Mayor, ano, nagpa-flashback sila ng Yolanda para daw Yolanda ulit kasi you could see from the video na ang grabe yung baha doon, maraming nasalanta. Yung mga na-relocate na dahil kay Yolanda, binaha ulit. Kaya naghahanap ulit sila ng panibagong relocation site na sana ay hindi na binabaha. Ano? Kasi as we all know, yung Leyte, Samar Leyte area, nasa coastline yan. Nasa Eastern Visayas at talagang dinadaanan niya ng bagyo. So, ang latest update ng Pag-asa, third landfall na si Orduha. Naging tropical depression na lang siya. Nag-third landfall siya sa Romblon at palabas po siya ng bansa sa Wednesday. Pero nagdulot ito ng over a month's worth of rainfall. Ganyan po kadami ang ulan na dinulot nito. This is the newsroom on CNN Philippines. Welcome back. 5 are dead and 20 others are injured after a suicide bomber attacked a church during a Sunday service in Pakistan. Authorities say 2 attackers targeted the church in Quetta. One managed to detonate his vest. A security guard shot the second one before he could blow himself up. More than 400 people were in the church during the attack. Pakistan condemns the attack, tweeting that the nation's resolve against terrorism cannot be deterred by these cowardly acts. Christians make up 2% of Pakistan's population and face persecution from hardline Islamists. On to another incident, this time here at home. Members of the New People's Army attacked a convoy of soldiers helping affected communities in northern Samar. About 50 NPA rebels ambushed soldiers from the 20th Infantry Battalion in Katubig Town yesterday. The troops were on their way to give assistance to storm-stricken areas. The military condemns the attack that left 2 soldiers wounded. Katubig is now under state of calamity with more than 7,000 families affected by Orduha. The National Police orders all its units to remain on alert against possible attacks by the New People's Army. The police are working with the military in guarding against offensives ahead of the 49th founding anniversary of the Communist Party of the Philippines on December 26th. The NPA is the armed wing of the party. The palace says the offensives will go on despite the Christmas holiday. Earlier, President Duterte declared NPA rebels as terrorists and ended the peace talks. The discussion on fake news is about to get bigger as the country is slated to hold its first information summit in 2018. In a radio interview, Communications Secretary Martin Andanar says the Presidential Communications Operations Office and the Philippine Information Agency will take the lead in hosting the big event. He says information officers from all provinces and municipalities will join the summit. Andanar says private media will also be invited. The secretary stressed the need for collaboration between private media and government agencies to curb the spread of fake news. Well, here's some news that's not fake on electronic waste or e-waste. A group says we could be contributing to killing the environment by using certain gadgets. Here's Camille Abadisho's report.
Cell phones, laptops, and other electronic gadgets are usually on any Christmas wish list. But Eco Waste Coalition warns the public to rethink buying such items as old and discarded ones end up as e-waste.
Pag tayo namibili ng mga bago, may mga luma na naiiwan at ang ending po nito karamihan o kadalasan ay tinatapon natin sa mga basurahan. At ang mga natatapon na to ng mga sira o lumang mga kagamitan ay napupunta doon sa mga landfill o mga tambakan ng
Based on the 2017 Global E-Waste Monitor by a United Nations specialized agency, 44.7 million metric tons of electronic waste were produced worldwide in 2016. In the Philippines, each person was estimated to have produced 2.8 kilograms of e-waste. This means that in Metro Manila alone, over 36 million kilograms of e-waste were generated last year. That's the equivalent of more than 36,000 cars. The group says e-waste could include batteries, fluorescent lamps, ink cartridges, and even chargers for gadgets.
Mas mabigat pa nga na dami ng klase ng chemical na ginagamit sa mga produktong ito. Meron dyan tinatawag na mga halimbawa yung lead, may presence ng mercury din yan, ginagamitan din yan ng cadmium, ginagamitan din yan ng mga tinatawag na brominated flame retardants para heat sink kung tawagin. At meron din tinatawag na persistent organic pollutants. Ito yung mga klase ng mga chemical na globally sinusubukang i-eliminate o sinusubukang bawasan at huwag nang gamitin dahil napakadelikado nito sa kalusugan ng tao at maging sa ating kalikasan. No?
EcoWaste Coalition shares tips on how to properly manage e-waste, like having outdated electronic products refurbished or upgraded instead of replacing them, and researching if manufacturers have a take-back program or scheme for discarded electronics. Camille Abadisho, CNN Philippines.
The 43rd PBA season tips off today with the Philippine Cup. Our Paulo Del Rosario is at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, starting with big news, the resignation of Chito Narvaza.
With the impasse between the Board of Governors before the start of the season, the PBA's 43rd season opener was always something to watch out for. But even before the ball was tipped, the PBA Board of Governors addressed the media and clarified the issue. Here's PBA Chairman Ricky Vargas.
We're back together, stronger than ever. So this is your PBA Board of Governors who will serve its term in the 43rd PBA season. That we reached out to Commissioner Narvaza and we made amends for the things that needed to be clarified and work out on his personal hurts on the process. As a result of that, this morning he submitted his resignation, which was effective today.
Vargas went on to explain that Narvaza was asked to stay on as commissioner until the end of the calendar year to, quote, help us during the transition. The governors also appointed PBA Media Bureau Chief Willie Marcial as the officer in charge after a board meeting. These developments have now brought a measure of clarity into the league, which had been in limbo after the controversial San Miguel Beer and Kia trade. But at least for now, fans can now focus on what happens on the hard court and less on what happens in the boardroom. Paulo Del Rosario, CNN Philippines.
Christmas came early for this group of young, aspiring football players. Last November, they had a once-in-a-lifetime chance to train with one of the most popular football teams in the world, Barcelona FC.
Football. It may not be as popular in the Philippines as basketball, boxing, or even billiards. But that's not stopping these kids from dreaming and training on the field. This year, Milo brought those football dreams one giant step closer to reality. And now, they take it to a higher level by linking with FC Barcelona to help aspiring football players get access to coaching.
We have tied up globally with FC Barcelona to be able to give opportunity for Filipino children to world-class coaching and facilities.
This is where the road to Barcelona begins. A rigorous process of elimination that will ensure the most deserving kids get their slot.
So, upper passing lines, don't be static, don't be static. Guys, if he has the ball. Upper passing line.
Each player that make it to the selection camp was nominated by their school's coach or their club coach based on their values. It's a difficult and rigorous process, not just for the kids, but for the deciding panel as well. Hundreds of aspiring football players gave their best in hopes of leveling up their skills in Barcelona. While not every player in the boot camp was able to make it all the way to Camp Nou, they still got a taste of Barca training here in Manila. And with Milo's partnership with FC Barcelona as an ongoing program, these kids can come back next year better and more inspired for another shot.
CNN Philippines Sports Desk presents Road to Barcelona, airing right after this newscast. Still ahead, the World Wide Web says goodbye to a pioneer of instant messaging. And Asia superstar Anggun is in Manila. She shows off her artistic side in her latest album. This is Newsroom Weekend on CNN Philippines. Stay tuned. Good evening to our Facebook Live viewers. Nako, maikli na lang itong gap natin, itong break natin. So, I'll start with the greetings. Maraming nanonood sa atin ngayon. Maraming salamat. Si Elmer Dai Dolman says, good evening from Japan. Si Jem Rebueno says, good evening from Kuwait. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Si Ding Zo Marino has a message for those affected by the storm Orduha. Sabi niya, praying for your safety viewing from Bransdal of Norway. Maraming salamat Ding sa message mo. Si Ernie Del Rosario is also sending his message. Si Mario Medua Bonza says good evening and my prayers for the people of Eastern Visayas. Keep safe. Watching from Japan. Also saying hello to Imran Dil Imran, si Rolin Igama from Riyadh, si Hil Fernandez Umadhay from Jeddah, si Bing Fortich from Dublin, Ireland, and si Claire Morata Guan says, Lord, you are the controller. Please, you have the power to stop this typhoon and rains. She's sending her prayers for those affected by the storm Orduha. Si Bing Fortich says, stay safe. And si Marlene Hugnatan says, good morning from a Caribbean country. Maraming salamat po sa mga greetings nyo. Stay tuned. The newsroom's back with more stories. The world of technology says goodbye to the grandfather of instant messaging. After 20 years of service, the AOL Instant Messenger went offline for good. AIM was launched in 1997 and earned a coveted spot in pop culture. It was so popular it made cameo appearances in You've Got Mail and Sex and the City. But over the years, users shifted from desktop computers to smartphones, and AIM failed to jump on the wagon. The F2 Logistics cargo movers took home their first ever PSL Grand Prix. Paolo Del Rosario gives us the highlights of the 4-set battle with the Petron Blaze Spikers.
After 3 games, the F2 Logistics cargo movers claimed their rightful place at the summit of the PSL Grand Prix. The cargo movers surpassed the challenge of the Petron Blaze Spikers in the deciding Game 3 of their championship series, but they had to overcome huge odds to beat them. After a disappointing opening game from F2's perspective, the Blaze Spikers looked like they were easily the better team. Petron swept the cargo movers in Game 1 and almost clinched the title in Game 2. Petron then went up 9-0 in what could have been the championship set for the Blaze Spikers, but a remarkable comeback from the cargo movers proved that they would not just force the deciding 5th set, but also tie up the series. Riding their momentum from Game 2, the cargo movers made no mistake in the deciding game, taking out Petron in comfortable fashion. F2 import Maria Perez was crowned MVP of the tournament and finished with 24 points in Game 3. She did all that despite finding out her brother died due to cancer just a day before the game.
Very professional talaga si Maria dahil kakamatay lang ng kapatid niya kahapon. Sobrang saludo ako sa batang yun kasi hindi niya sinasabi, ayaw niya malaman ng team.
While team captain Chuck Cruz tacked on 16 points in their championship clinching performance. When you ask F2 head coach Ramil De Jesus about his team's triumph, he will pay tribute to Petron's talent. But he will also say that in the end, his players wanted the title more.
Sabi ko, hindi lahat ng teams na bibigyan ng chance makapasok sa finals. Tayo nabigyan ng chance, then dito na tayo pag buusan natin lahat dito.
It is a sweet victory for the cargo movers, and definitely one they will not forget. Paulo de Rosario, CNN Philippines.
Are you in for some last-minute budget shopping? Well, this bazaar is perfect for you. Our Camila Badisho takes us to the World Bazaar Festival in Pasay City.
It's that time of the year again. People are doing their Christmas shopping. I'm here at the World Bazaar Festival in Pasay. It's got 800 stalls, one of the biggest bazaars in the country, running for 17 years now. Let's see how many gifts I can buy with only 500 pesos. Come on in.
From clothes, bags, shoes to a wide variety of items perfect for gifts, the World Bazaar at the World Trade Center is the place to be for some last-minute Christmas shopping.
It's very cheap. Yun lang actually. It's easy to go around and it's much cheaper this year. Affordable naman. A good quality.
Enjoy naman. Maganda siya. Tsaka ang daming klase. Halos lahat nandito na. So yun, masaya.
With an entrance fee of 80 pesos, visitors get access to over 800 stalls, including booths of local products promoted by the Department of Agriculture.
So what did I buy with my 500 peso budget? First off, these pouches that are interesting because they're recycled from old denim jeans, so they have really nice designs. I got for 25 pesos each. I got a shirt for 100 pesos, a pair of shorts for 100 pesos. These cute little mason jars I got for 25 pesos each, and maybe I'll put candies or chocolates inside and wrap them nicely individually. And then these candies, chocolates, I got for 50 pesos per box. And they come in really cute packaging. So all in all, I got gifts for 10 people for only 450 pesos because I even got a change of 50 pesos.
Organizers say over 10,000 visitors visit the bazaar every day. They expect this number to go up the coming days. The World Bazaar Festival is open from 12 noon to 10 p.m. on weekdays, 10 a.m. to midnight on weekends, and runs until December 22. Camila Badisho, CNN Philippines.
The holiday season is definitely here as Christmas shopping in malls or bazaars reach fever pitch. It's more difficult to get around. Here are some tips on how to navigate your way through traffic and keep your holiday cheer.
For those who are worried about the traffic heading south and towards the airports, Skyway and NAIA-X are ready to make your travel a little smoother. You can expect more ambulant toll collectors out there to cut down